All right, chat, can you hear me? Chat, how's my audio? Raise your hand if you can hear me, chat. All right, get ready for the best presentation. All right. So, hi, my name's Tarek. I'm a senior here at MIT.
And my name is Nimran. I'm a freshman.
And what you just heard me do was what I did a lot as a kid growing up, actually. I used to play a lot of video games. I was a big gamer. And I played a lot of single-player games. And while it was fun, it kind of got boring after a while. So to add another dimension to my gaming experience, I would pretend that I was a big streamer, that I had this huge audience like you guys watching me, reacting to my gameplay, even roasting me. And the fact of the matter was, it was all in my head. It was kind of weird, honestly. It was my imagination. Well, now it's possible. Any stream in the age of AI agents leverages thousands of AI agents to replicate a live Twitch or YouTube live stream. So now anyone and anything can be a live stream. So let's see how it works. So you start at the AnyStream config console, and you can add as many or as little Twitch or YouTube viewers as you want. You could select from the presets or create your own. You can create a hype beast that's your best friend. You could, add someone who's going to roast you the entire time and not really help you. You could add a know-it-all for some game that you're playing. And when you're ready and you're happy with the config, you hit start stream, and it's as simple as that. It starts capturing whatever screen that you desire, and a realistic chat window appears on the left-hand side of your screen, acting much like Twitch or YouTube or any of your favorite live streaming platforms. So it's actually really fun. And we tried it with students at MIT, and they really liked it. We actually had a problem with the demos. They didn't want to stop using it. They were big gamers. You can imagine MIT kids are kind of nerdy. And they are really big gamers, and they really enjoyed this experience because a lot of them never streamed before, and it was kind of a cool experience for them. So moving forward, we hope to enhance AnyStream, make it even more realistic. We hope to collaborate with existing streamers to kind of get our name out there. And lastly, we hope to make multi-streamer streams. Basically, friend groups could have one stream chat that kind of enhances and adds like a third dimension to the group gaming experience. And that's AnyStream. Questions?
Have you guys thought about getting the agents to have like collaborative behaviors? So if everyone's like, yeah, this sucks, like we're gonna go against you or something of that sort?
Yeah, kind of like a hive mind. Yeah, we actually have implemented that already. We do have an MVP. And yeah, they can see each other. They have a memory of what they've already said. So yeah, it functions much like if you or me joined some Twitch stream and we saw the chat and we wanted to add our 2 cents, and like you said, maybe we start roasting the streamer and then everyone jumps in and starts roasting them together.
Would it mix with any actual human users, and can I tell the difference?
Yeah, I mentioned at the end we wanted to collaborate with some big streamers. I don't know if you're familiar with any of them, but Kai Cenat or someone. And they already have a big audience. These guys are putting up like Super Bowl numbers like every time they hop on Twitch or something. And so to get our name out there, it would be kind of cool if we could integrate AnyStream into their existing Twitch chat. And so humans are like, oh, what's this like weird AI thing, this weird MIT company, they came in and started taking over our Twitch chat. I think that would be like a super cool way to get our name out there.
So social reasoning is a really important part of human intelligence. For example, Homo sapiens actually outcompeted Neanderthals despite having a smaller brain through better social intelligence. Yet, at the moment, LLMs really fall quite far short of human reasoning, social reasoning. In particular, theory of mind, emotional intelligence, and also ability to negotiate. This is in part because they're trained mostly on human-created static data as opposed to rich social environments.
So we are building these rich and dynamic social environments, and we are building 1 million of them. This is an example of one of the worlds our platform can generate from a text prompt. In this world, there are LLM agents that can interact and communicate with each other, and we can really generate a diverse set of these worlds. And we use them as foundations to create scenarios for conflict resolution to train our models.
The real innovation here is being able to generate these environments automatically and therefore at scale. There's two steps here. First, we generate the prompts, and then we turn those prompts into the RL environments. The key in generating these prompts is ensuring that these descriptions are really diverse and rich, and we do that by taking inspiration from historical conflicts and from game theory. Then we turn those prompts into the RL environments, for example, the one that Nathan just showed, and that relies on Nathan's research. Ultimately, we want to sell these RL environments to the labs so that they can build better, more capable social reasoning agents, or to build them ourselves. If you're interested in learning more or want to chat, come visit our website. Thanks.
So are you guys basically selling these RL environments, or what's the business plan?
Yeah, so either sell the RL environments to the labs or use them to train our own agents based on open source models. We've already done a bit of kind of initial work in this, done some initial RL runs, and seen some interesting results so far.
Yeah, so I guess if you're saying that LLMs are not good at social reasoning, how are you scoring these RL environments? Like, what is the function with which you're basically judging how well they're doing? What is like the function there?
Yes, so we have two big methods to evaluate these RL environments. One is we're planning to ask experts in negotiation to start with to evaluate these environments. And then the second way to evaluate these environments is just to test transfer. So there's like already many papers on like benchmarks, for example, for theory of mind. And so we can check, once we fine-tune our models on these RL environments, does it improve their performance on other reasoning tasks?
So just to add to that briefly, when we talked about how they fall short of human capability, that's according to certain benchmarks. So there's a variety of theory of mind benchmarks, there's a variety of negotiation benchmarks, a variety of emotional intelligence benchmarks. So if we get emergent social reasoning by training on these environments, we can look at those external benchmarks and see, are we seeing these emergent capabilities in other areas, right?
Can you give me two examples? Like, I'm a customer, I'm coming to Gashet, I buy an environment. What do I do with it?
So there will be many environments, and you will have, so I think the most straightforward way to do it, to sell it, is for us to generate data sets of these environments, and then we can sell it to people training these models on the data sets. And it's already a pipeline that exists. There's already startups doing our environments and selling them, but they rely on experts to build these environments. Like, the main difference here is that we want to automate the generation of these environments using coding models and our own verifiers.
Hi everyone, we are Nuclear, an AI agent that could transfer plain language specification into radiation simulation. Today, from SpaceX to fusion startup, the team relies heavily on tools like FATES for their radiation transport or shielding. But the first valid run in that software might take about 2 months and 3 PhDs effort. It's a costly bottleneck in a $2 billion market. Roughly 300 million are spent for radiation simulation each year, but the talent in nuclear engineering in the US is shrinking about 25% over the past decade.
Here's our demo. Users describe the simulation they want to do in plain language. For example, I want to simulate the radiation shielding performance of water. After verifying any missing details, our agent will automatically generate simulation input file, run it in the simulation software, and then return results. We've now onboarded 2 users. We've helped a NASA fellow who have 0 experience in simulation to have the first result in just 10 minutes. We can also accelerate the workflow of a senior FIS user. We can accelerate his workflow by 80%. Moreover, we've received 8 letters of interest from users. And just yesterday, we received a $50K letter of interest from Standard Fund. Moreover, we obtained the first license from simulation software for agent developing. Our team have two members, Shanli and Melody from MIT Mackie. We have a background for both radiation simulation and AI design. We are now raising $500K to develop our first product and try to achieve 100K ARR in the next 12 months. We are Alto Nuclear. Thank you.
Is this another simulator, or is this using some sort of like neural networks, or like how do you guys build it?
We treat us as cursor for nuclear engineering industry. We are using large language model to generate an input file for the softwares to like skip the crazy learning curve for this complicated closed source software.
Clearly, as opposed to if I'm using Cursor to create like my shiny new web app, maybe if I get something goes wrong with the generated code here, the implications are probably much worse in this case. So have you thought about, are you thinking about the implications of verifying the generated code to make sure the simulations are doing what the person expected them to do?
Yeah, definitely. That's the feedback. It's also the feedback of our users. We're also trying to develop that it can like verify the result and then correct the errors. We may like try to, if we have more than 2 days, we'll definitely add those functions.
What academic sort of organizations are you interfacing with to get feedback? Because I mean, I grew up in San Diego, and San Diego State, I know it's known for partying, but it's also known for nuclear physics. Where are you collecting your feedback to make sure you're building this in the right way for the future?
At first, we are collecting with nuclear researchers, MIT, who are heavy users of this software. And also, we are working with like startups or NASA, some staff in NASA. They're doing experiments to like, for example, design next generation spacesuit to protect our astronauts. So they are using our product to like simulate, is their design working? Yeah.
So earlier this year at the MIT Co-Sharper Center, we spent weeks interviewing and analyzing conversations with founders. As a solution builder myself, I was shocked that a $94 billion industry still did research as they did it in 1920. Whether you're a small team like ours or a Fortune 500 company, research is a pain, right? So surveys scale, but they lack depth. Interviews have that depth, but they're slow, expensive, and impossible to scale. Even with AI analysis and virtual conversations, research still ends up in static conversations.
As a serial founder myself, across 4 countries and multiple industries, I've faced this pain too many times. So we built Mastra, a research platform where multiple agents work together like an orchestra. So one recruits, one interviews, one observes, and another one connects the dots. And this system turns every voice conversations into decisions you can act on. And it trains our insights graph, a self-learning map that connects what people say to why they say it. Over time, it gets sharper, faster, and more predictive. And it helps organizations spot patterns early, and it turns our data into gold.
Market research is a $94 billion industry, and we're focusing on a $5 billion segment. Market research firms and corporate insight teams, the ones already spending tens of thousands per study multiple times a year. They'll use Mastra to run richer studies in days, not weeks, and at a fraction of the cost. And as we scale, we'll monetize our insights graph to produce and reveal significant unmet needs.
So Mastra starts with automated research, but really, it's a smarter way to listen to the world, because the ideas that can change products, policies, and even lives, they hide in conversations. And the signal is clear. Within just 2 days of showing Mastra, we already had 10 companies who asked to join our pilot. So if you would like to see the future of competitive strategy, please scan this code and see it in action. Thank you.
Judges,
Obviously, this seems to be applicable across industries, but were there any in mind that you had when you started this effort? What inspired kind of it?
Great question. So first thing that came to mind was actually the hospitality industry. I think hospitality is always trying to capture a lot of consumer insights, but they struggle to do so. Surveys usually don't get proper responses. You don't like sharing your real feedback. So I think that was the target, but then we realized it's a lot more applicable across several industries.
You mentioned over time that obviously it gets better with more data as you collect more data over time. How do you measure the current quality of the insights that you're providing?
Definitely. So it's really an iterative feedback loop. We measure it and we analyze it every single time, and we're always trying to be better. So, any other questions?
Thank
you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. We're Citable, and we make your brand show up and get cited in AI answers. So you probably noticed your Google search referrals declining. That's because more and more people are using AI to discover brands. In fact, traffic from search engines like ChatGPT and Perplexity is up 12 times in the past 90 days. And within 2 years, over half of discovery is projected to come from AI engines. So the question is, how do you position your brand so it's get mentioned in the AI answers? And this is where Citable comes in. First, we analyze how and when your brand is mentioned across all AI engines by simulating real customer prompts. Then we explain why you're cited or not. For example, why a developer in Berlin sees your rival, while a CTO in Texas sees you. And finally, we act. We make your website AI readable, and we generate content AI models look for.
So in the era of AI visibility, our wedge is in mid-sized SaaS, where we help companies who has experienced the drop of traffic to help them build the data flywheel of buyer intents across regions and verticals. Unlike our competitors, we simulate real buyer intent, and that will help us to explain why your rival shows up in the AI search engines instead of you. And finally, we help them with soft fixes to uplift AI visibility with safety. Till now, we have already gained 400 global signups, 20 LOIs, and ongoing 3 pilots with customized solution for major brands.
Our flexible pricing captures all client needs, from starter analytics insights to fully optimized content creation for enterprise. Our rockstar team understands the toughest pain point of GEO, and we combine that with our expertise from top AI research lab, big tech product design, and frontier startup marketing. We're raising 1 million pre-seed to scale pilot and tech to become an industry leader. Join us and try it yourself.
Yeah, I'll take the first question. So how do you keep humans in the loop for this product? So how do you make sure this is a simulation loop of agents on 2 different sides talking to each other and just optimizing for what the other wants?
So one of the aspects is actually how we build the data flywheel. Enterprises have their own proprietary persona. Who are their customers? Where they're coming from? Those data we put into the persona generation to create those real prompts that the users will actually ask. We verify them through actual cited sources to cross-reference whether they are the true and where the competitors are coming from. So that's how we make sure it's accurate.
How are you guys surfacing? How do we know how LLMs are surfacing the rankings? A lot of people talk about how it's similar to the old world, like PageRank, etc. So, and where does that place you guys, as opposed to the old school SEMrush and Mangools and all those tooling?
Yeah, so GEO is quite different from SEO, and GEO is generative engine optimization. So when you get mentioned in AI, you really have to care about the sources. So how many articles are written about you? So are you mentioned in Forbes or TripAdvisor, depending on the industry? Or also Medium and Reddit, for example, is super important. So that's why the strategy to optimize GEO has to be quite different. I need to understand exactly where to publish and what content to publish.
One tip would be the value to the consumer or the customer. If you can address that through content or through other ways, that would be the key turning point for GEO. Yeah.
Thank you.
My name's Amir.
And my name's Esteban.
And we're pitching Delirio. So fitness is difficult, right? So what do people do? They hire fitness coaches, which is a good solution, but it's not so simple. You see, traditional coaching is high cost and high friction. Not only does it hurt people's wallets, it hurts their schedules and mental bandwidth. This effectively creates a brick wall separating people from their fitness goals.
Our solution is a comprehensive system of computer vision, machine learning models, and conversational AI to simulate traditional coaches all on your phone. It motivates you, enforces proper form, and personalizes to your taste, making sure you break through that brick wall.
Time for a demo.
Stop ego lifting! Great, take a break. 1 minute.
So imagine this is a dumbbell, right? So there's something called ego lifting, right? When you're lifting without care for your form, and it could possibly lead to injury. So you're gonna be the app, all right?
All right.
One.
Ding. 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 Stop ego lifting. Ding. Ding. All right, good job. Rest.
All right. And it tells you to take a break.
Oh, wait, it works. Oh. Hey, we're not done yet, though.
It effectively guides you through the workout. So we can go back to the slides now. So our competition don't really compete. As you can see, they're either paired with clunky hardware and super pricey, or they don't provide any beneficial insight. Our competitive advantage is how we seamlessly integrate our tech into every movement of the user's fitness experience.
There's potential to expand to other activities, but we'll begin by focusing on weightlifting as our niche. Given a large audience of weightlifters, we'll use our freemium platform and partnerships to attract a large user base. Once our user base and tech established, we'll sell affiliate products on our platform and even license our tech to gym, sports teams, and more.
We've already gotten involved with key resources at MIT, like MIT Sandbox and the Martin Trust Center, and we're moving fast. We may have just started with this hackathon, but we're giving this idea all that we can and more. Thank you.
I think it's exciting. I feel like it is the future, but because how are you going to compete with the incumbents? There's a bunch of other like workout app people out there, in addition to the big names that you guys put out there. How are you going to get users in the beginning?
Mm-hmm. So the whole workout industry right now, especially the digital apps and such, they're more of planning. So they plan your workouts, they plan your history, and you have to give them all that information. For us, it's centered more around being a fitness coach. We want to be there with you all the time with every single rep, every single movement. So we can tell you when you mess up your reps, which is not a technology that any of these apps display. We also want to motivate you throughout your workout. If we can notice that you're struggling, be like, come on, push. And it can also personalize to your own, purposes. Why do you want to be fit? For a lot of people, if you're getting older and you want to be fit so you can play with your kids, like the AI can speak to you for that motivation.
Have you thought about adding the social network to this? So if I have the intent to use the app, but I'm not using it, who in my group can push me and shame me into actually using it?
That's a great question. So we're seeing nowadays that a lot of applications are implementing social networks to broaden their user base. Like we saw with like Temu, right? Like and now a bunch of like online e-commerce platforms have like Reels, which is very interesting. And we plan on doing something very similar. And actually, one of our growth strategies is starting local. So starting with students at MIT, we've already been conducting customer interviews and seeing like the interest among students. And students is a very good group to expand from, especially if we start by giving it to them for free. Thank you all.
Thank you.